So we're back to Kaggle's Pandas course. We're doing the exercise for grouping and sorting. All right. So here's the introduction. Give me a second. I got my headphones on for some reason. The reason is I was just playing League of Legends. Anyway, let's go. So the introduction. In these exercises, we're going to apply group-wise analysis to our dataset, pardon me. We're going to run the code cell below to load the data before running the exercises. Gotcha. So let's do this. It's running, and while we do that, let's go back over this so we remember what's up. So we're going to import the pandas library and access it using PD instead of just writing pandas. I guess that's what that means. I forgot. Reviews equals pd.read CSV, and then we put the CSV file in here. And then we're going to have index call equals 0. So we're going to move the numbers over 1 and use those as the index. We've got the from learntools.core import binder, blah, 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 blah. Right here. This is just for the for checking our stuff. And then it says print setup complete, which it just did. All right, so let's get back to it. So here's exercise number 1. Who are the most common wine reviewers in the data set? We're going to create a series whose index is the taster Twitter handle category from the data set and whose values count how many reviews each person wrote. Okay. Let's look at that in a second. I forgot. Make sure to click this link if you don't already have it open so we can get our text and look through it. All right. So it said basically most common wine reviewers in the data set. All right. A series whose index is taster Twitter handle. Let's come over here. So it's more than likely going to be this because as it usually says, it's going to be the first thing. So, I mean, this isn't really thought-provoking, but, you know, logically speaking, this is probably what it is. Let's get this, drop it here, all right? Series. So this creates a series, we know that. Index is this. So instead of points, let's turn it into this. Copy it. Toss. Pardon me. And whose values count how many reviews each person wrote. Is it just dot count? Or dot? Do we even need to do that? Do we even need to do a group by for this? Let's see. Oh, no, it's good. All right, so yeah, just like that. Except for we didn't even need to do Twitter handle. I guess it's because points. I guess it's because points and Twitter handle, they're both going to be filled in. I mean, it's not like this is a... I mean, I guess it wouldn't have... Like, a list like this wouldn't have the Twitter handles blank. You know what I'm saying? So, Twitter handle points, it doesn't really matter. See? We put this in there, boom. And we could have just done it by dot size as well. Turns out. So we just do... Okay. Let's see what they did. I bet you it's exactly like that. Let's go. I rehearsed this. I know it's exactly like that. There it is. So let's go on to number 2. So what is the best wine that can be bought for a given amount of money? We're going to create a series whose index is wine prices, and whose values is the minimum number of points a wine costing that much was given in a review. Okay. We'll sort the values by price ascending so that $4 is at the top and $3,300 is at the bottom. Okay. Yum, yum. That better be a good wine, right? Let's go. So it says index is wine prices, so it's probably going to be exactly like this one. So let's just snag this, at least this part, and then we'll see what else we got to do. Maybe we got to go check the text out. Like, I rehearsed this, but I don't remember what I did. You know what I'm saying? So here's this. And so let's change this to whose index is wine prices. So let's do price here. Price, boom. Whose index is wine prices. There we go. Whose value is the minimum number of points a wine costing dot points dot min, I guess. Let's come over here. Yeah, it would probably be exactly like this, huh? Did it say minimum? Yeah, and it says sort it ascending, so we don't even need to sort it because we already know it sorts by ascending to start with. So let's say dot min. Let's see what this does. Group by price dot min. Nope. Oh, by points. What is it? Points. Okay, yeah. Got points. How about that? What? Maximum. How about I read this next time, right? I'm telling you, I rehearsed this. It's just, I rehearse it just so I can read these correctly. I always forget what I do here. But there we go. It's correct. Let's look at the solution, see if there's anything wild. So they did this in rehearsal. I did this too. What do we got here? So we can do this if we want. But the thing is, I was thinking, why was it like this? Let's wrap this in quotes. See if it works. Say what? Dot max dot sorted. Okay, so I guess if we do this, we have to sort it. Dot sort index. Yeah, so if we do it this way, we have to do it like that. But if we have to sort it. But if we just do it like this, we don't have to sort it. Not like that. Like this. We don't have to sort it. Okay. And let's go back. And I was thinking while I was doing this, let's make sure this works. Yeah. While I was doing this, maybe they put it in here so that you could have like another one in there. Like another string in the list, like country. But nah, that's not what it is. So honestly, I don't know why they did it like this other than to just show us that it's possible. But as possible as that is, I prefer it like this. And until somebody gives me a reason to do it the other way, I think this is the way. But whatever, you know, more than one way to do things. So let's go to number 3. What are the minimum and maximum prices for each variety of wine? We're going to create a data frame whose index is the variety category. All right, that's the index. From the data set and whose values are the min and max values thereof. Remember, the min and max price, not the min and max variety, whatever. All right, I got that one. I was staring at this for like 10 minutes, trying to figure out what it was talking about. So, okay, so let's start by the group by. Let's grab this group by right here. And let's change it to variety. Variety. How about that? And now we are whose values are the min and max values thereof. So let's come back over here and let's see how to put 2. It's got to be the ag, right? Yeah, let's do the ag right here. Something.ag. What is it? .price.ag. We could probably just grab this, huh? Let's grab this right here. Toss it in right, y'all. And then let's take the length out. And since we need the min and the max, let's just use it like that. Let's check it. It's correct. It's correct. Yeah, I was also staring at this. I was looking at like, what's going on because of this red. Psh, yeah, it's good. All right, let's check the solution. See if there's anything wild. Nope, exactly like ours. All right. So here's number 4. What are the most expensive wine varieties? We're going to create a variable sorted varieties containing a copy of the data frame from the previous question where varieties are sorted in descending order based on minimum price, then on maximum price to break ties. So it's going to be on minimum. It's going to be on minimum, then it's going to be on maximum. So it's going to be kind of like this one we had over here where we had 2, I think. I think it's sorted by what? No. We got to go. Let's go look at the sort. I think the sort had 2. I don't know. All right, let's come back over here and try it out. All right, so let's get this group by right here because we're going to have to start with that. course. And create a variable sorted varieties. Get copy of the data frame from the previous question. Okay, let's just use this then. Let's get price extremes. Copy that. Come down here. Sorted varieties equals price extremes dot varieties sorted in descending order dot sort values. Sort values. Let's see. Sort values by Lin. Sort values by Lin. False. Sort index. Oh, here it is. Sort values by this. So we put by equals like thus. Let's grab that. Let's drop this like that. And what are we doing? By min and max? Min. And then max. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. Price extremes dot sort values by min max. Okay, that wasn't good enough. Create a variable sorted varieties containing a copy of the data frame from the previous question where varieties. I should just have this stuff open on my other screen. I'm gonna probably have to do that. Containing a copy of the data frame from the previous question where the varieties are sorted in descending order. Don't forget the ascending equals false, like I did. All right, so let's have a comma right here. Let's see what we got. There we go. All right, let's see the solution. Exactly. All right, great. Number 5. Is that it? No, we got 6 too. All right. So now we're going to create a series whose index is reviewers and whose values is the average review score given out by that reviewer. Hint, we're going to need the taster name and points columns. Gotcha. Whose index is reviewers. So the index is probably going to be taster name. I know it is. Let's get this one. Reviews.groupby, right? And then we'll get taster name again. You know what happened. You saw what happened. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do tester name, and that, and what? Whose index is the reviewers and whose values are the average review score given out by that review. So dot points dot mean, right? Dot points dot mean. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Almost had, look, in rehearsal, I totally did like an apply, or I was trying to do an apply. And then I was, turns out this is one of those tricks where they send us back 2 or 3 lessons. Keep us on our toes. Yeah, and there it is right there. Boom. So let's come down to number 6. What combination of countries and varieties are most common? We're going to create a series whose index is a multi-index of country and variety pairs. A series whose multi-index. Okay. For example, a Pinot Noir produced in the U.S. should map to U.S. Pinot Noir. We're going to sort the values in the series in descending order based on wine count. Why didn't I didn't do this one in rehearsal, so this one's going to take a little longer. All right. So create a series whose thing is this. So let's do reviews. .groupby. Not like that. Is that how we do the group by? I forgot. Yeah, it's like that. All right, so we're doing 2. We're doing a multi-index. So let's go back into the multi-index section there, right there. Group by just like thus. So let's grab this and then fill it in. All right, group by this. Wish I could just double click it without it doing that, but country and variety. We already got country. Let's get variety. Boom. All right. So now we're going to say dot apply, whose index is multi-index, whose varieties are most common. Okay, dot apply. Create a series whose index is multi-index is a multi-index of this. For example, a Pinot Noir produced in the U.S. should map to U.S. Pinot Noir. Okay. So dot apply, and then what do we do on apply? That's not the apply. There it is. Lambda. All right, so let's do lambda. Lambda. What are we doing? Group by country variety. Let's do CV. How about that? And then we're probably going to have to do create a series whose index is this. For example, a Pinot Noir produced in the U.S. should map to U.S. Pinot Noir. What? So, let's get a hint, at least. Use group by, and then provide a list of columns to group by. That's what we did. We may also find size and sort values to be useful. So, size and sort value. Oh, okay. It's just like this one, huh? We got size, and then on the other one where we had sort value somewhere. Sort index. Let's try it. Let's try it like that. Let's do what they said. Let's throw the size. Let's get rid of the apply since it didn't say a hint on apply. Dot size. And sort values. So let's do the ascending equals false on sort values. Dot sort value. Cal use values. Ascending equals false. All right. Maybe we'll see. Great. There we go. Anyway, so there's that. Let's look at the solution. What? Group by country variety dot size dot sort values ascending. Yay! All right, great. So that's the end of that. Let's go to the next one. All right. So now we're on to data types and missing values. And see you next time.